Hey guys, welcome back. So I want to talk about the Fancy Pigeon Loft. The pigeon that I haven't filmed yet is the Satinette. So here it is. It's a Satinette. Don't know too much about the Satinette. I did some research. I believe they come from Turkey. They were bred for the Sultan. Don't know much more about that. I know people do use Satinettes as droppers. I don't plan on using them as a dropper. These Satinettes, their wings are clipped, right? So they're not going to be able to fly until they molt and grow new feathers. But regardless, I do know they fly pretty well. So I think if I use them as a dropper, I could place them by a bob, they might get freaked out or something might happen. They'll just take off, and then I have to figure out how to get the homers back into the loft. So not planning on using them as a dropper, maybe with the wings clipped. I'm not sure. These guys in particular, I got them from a breeder. They're kind of skittish right now, so maybe they're babies. We'll see how they are. If they might be a little bit better, a little less skittish and stuff. Super pretty bird. Like I said, the wings are clipped. At least the white feathers were clipped. You could see these other under feathers. They have a really nice pattern, really pretty pattern. And, they're a small to medium sized bird. Sometimes, and I don't know if I want to do this, but sometimes I think like maybe I should breed them with a homer and just kind of like, if they could home even 10 miles, I could have them hanging out. But I do believe they could, they would fly around and return back to the loft. It's just these guys are so new. I don't think these guys would return back to the loft. But eventually, once they're finished molting, I don't plan on clipping their wings. Actually, the breeder clipped them when he gave them to me. He's like, you just have to wait until his wings grow back, his feathers grow back, and then he'll be good for your loft. But I don't plan on letting him out. So, I think what I'm going to do is try to get some babies out of them. And I only have one pair. I don't even know if it's a true pair. Like, I feel like this is the female because it's smaller and a little bit lighter. The other one's a little heavier, a little more active. So I think that one is probably the male. But, the theory is if anything happens to either one of them, then I won't be able to breed them. So I want to breed them. And maybe what I'll do is I'll take some of their eggs and I'll put them under homers and let the homers raise a bunch of these, so I get some extra ones. And once I get, I think for all my fancy birds, if I could get like 3 pairs, so I have a good generation to work with, I'll be pretty good. So I already have the 3 pairs of fantails. The Lahores, I only have 1 pair, so same thing with the Lahores. Maybe I gotta grab some of their eggs and put them under the homers to try to get more Lahores. And same thing with these guys. These guys and the Lahores haven't even tried to pair up. I am thinking about grabbing these guys, throwing them into an isolated cage by themselves, away from everyone else, and put a nest box, feed them up, put a lot of protein in their food, maybe like some hemp and some fenugreek, and really increase the amount of protein in their food in the hopes that they'll breed. And they do have small beaks, so I got to be cautious on what I'm feeding them. I got to make sure, so the pigeon pellets might not be a great idea for these guys. They definitely need some kind of seed. And even like popcorn, a lot of my breeder seed has popcorn in it. Popcorn might be too big for them. I don't know for sure, but maybe what I'll do is I'll get, like crushed corn, or like, I guess it's called crushed corn, or any kind of corn which is small pieces. Again, in the winter, increase their corn to keep them nice and warm for the winter, and that's it. Yeah, so maybe the next portion of this video, I'll show you the cage that I want to put them in. And with that said, I'll set up a nest box, not a nest box, a nest bowl. I'll throw some straw in with them, and with the straw, and keep them isolated. Maybe throw a towel over their use a towel to cover some of the cage up, so it gets a little dark for them. And yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they'll produce some eggs for me, or at least pair up. And once they pair up and they're starting to show breeding signs, I could even throw them back in the nest, into the loft, and let them pick a nest box and just kind of start breeding. But right now, they're not doing anything, nor are my lohors. I guess I'll give them till February, maybe another week or two, which would put me basically into February. And if I'm not getting babies out of them by February, I'll do the cage thing and try to really push them to breed. All right. So for the time being, this again, I think this is the female. The male, my daughter is playing with it. She's upstairs. It's funny, I wasn't even planning on getting these. When I went to get the fantails, saw them. I thought they were pretty cool. I was like, oh, I'll get a pair. And now I kind of wish I got two pairs, because again, if anything happens to any of them, the male or the female, I won't have anything to breed out of. So hopefully they will produce some young for me. But yeah, I think if I don't get any activity from them in the next week or two, I'll put them in that cage that I was talking about, and I'll go from there. All right, so I'm gonna put this video, I'm gonna stop this video, and then come back with my final thoughts and some conclusions on this. All right, thank you. All right, so some final thoughts. First, I believe this one is the male. That one over there is the female. So with the male, what I'm finding, and the reason why I think it's a male, it's much heavier, it's much bigger. And, you know, a good identifying mark I found is right above his eyes, got this little gray tick. Pretty awesome. It helps me identify the difference without actually picking them up and feeling the difference now. But yeah, I mean, picking him up, he's definitely a lot heavier than the other one. So I'm thinking this is the male. I don't know for sure. The guy told me he did his best to figure out pairs. But, you know, with pigeons, you never really know. It's kind of a lot of guesswork unless they're breeding in a box somewhere. All right, a couple of things I didn't mention. These guys have crest in the back. They're pretty cool. They got a little, I don't know what this is called, but it looks like ruffled feathers all the time. So that's pretty nice. He's also got really good feathers. Again, the breeder cut his wings, he cut his feathers, and it was like, hey, you know, once they grow in, they'll be associated to your loft. But again, I don't want to fly these guys around until I have babies. I can't risk losing them. If I lose one, even one of them, I won't have anything to breed out of. I only have this pair of these Satinettes. But overall, pretty cool birds. You know, really nice. Again, I sometimes think like maybe I could mix them with a Homer, but then I look at them like, you know, I should just stick with how they're bred. So another fact about them, well, a couple other things. On their feet, they have feathers all over their feet, which is pretty cool looking. And then the thing about these, there's pigeons called the owls, right? And I believe these are a variety of the owls. And basically, they call them owls because they have these little tiny beaks compared to homers and other pigeons. So I think these are called the old frill owls, right? But they were, again, Turkish bred for the Sultan back in the day. So they're kind of like royalty birds. But that's about all I know about them. I never flew them, never owned them before. Just I saw them, I thought they were pretty cool. I ended up picking them up. I do believe most of them are saddled like these. I have seen some that were just all white. And normally the saddle has got more a black pattern. This has a gray pattern. But honestly, I think they look really good. Actually, both the black pattern and the gray pattern look really good. Well, so hopefully this guy will start doing something with her. And if he doesn't within the next week or so, I think I'm going to throw him in the cage. Throw a nest box in. Throw a dog bowl in there. Throw a bunch of straw and you know, start increasing the protein in their food, and hopefully they'll do something. I did hear, I heard one of them, I think it was this one, cooing. So again, I think it's the male. I think there is a male and a female, but I'm not 100% sure. Even the breeder wasn't 100% sure. And I guess, like I said, if they're not in a box laying eggs and together, they're probably not. You know, it's almost impossible to tell what's a pair and what's not a pair. All right. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, give it a like. You know, share it with your friends. I do want to build up this channel. I want to kind of build a community of people that are like backyard homesteaders, but they have all sorts of stuff like pigeons, chickens, pheasants, you name it. It would be pretty cool to interact with people. I have been meeting a few different people. You know, they have quail, and you know, I plan on trying to trade them some pheasant for quail. There was another guy that he ended up buying a bunch of my pheasants, and he wants to give me some pigeons, but except I didn't want flights, so I didn't take them. But I might, you know, as I breed them out, or the fantails are breeding out, as I have too many fantails, I'll probably give him some. And this way, you know, we could kind of keep our stocks going. This way, if something happens, maybe raccoon comes in and kills my birds or whatever, I could go to him and get my bloodline back. That's what I'm thinking. So it would be nice to have a community of people that have the same interest. So again, please help me grow the channel. Again, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And then if you like the video, definitely hit the like button and you know, share it with your friends. And that's it. Yeah, so I'm going to conclude this video, and hopefully you'll get to watch my next one. Thank you.